Guidance counselor.
Welcome, everyone.
My name doesn't say that usually. It says.
All right, we are live now. So, welcome everyone to the Arts Academy podcast. Today we're going to talk. We have a few things to talk about that I'm sure everybody is curious about. And the first, of course, is your option for next year. So the first point there is that you have a choice whether you want to start the year all virtual, or if you would like the hybrid option where you come to school. Right now it's scheduled 1 day a week for the first marking period, but that survey is due tomorrow. If the person doesn't answer the survey, which group are they then grouped to the virtual only option? If somebody doesn't answer the survey?
That's a great question, Mr. Gongora. I'm not sure about that. What I do know is that we're only waiting on about 65 families right now to make their decision. And it looks like 60% of our students, of our student body, will be hybrid, coming in once a week, and 40% will be virtual. That's what it looks like right now.
Okay. Well, make sure you answer that survey so you can definitely do what you want in terms of the year. If you do choose the virtual option, you cannot change your mind again until the end of the first marking period. So if you choose virtual, you're going to be virtual for the entire first marking period. If you choose hybrid, that you're going to want to come in, then I believe you can switch to virtual. In that case, is that correct?
That is correct. That is.
So if you do choose hybrid and you want to check it out a little bit and then see if you're comfortable coming into school once a week, you can always fall back to virtual. But just for so we don't get a lot of people who choose virtual and then say, oh well, I want to come in. Now that just defeated the purpose of having this sort of schedule. So we just don't want too many people in the building.
Yeah,
so if you do choose.
We're making accommodations for certain things like lunch, like just entering the building in the morning based on the numbers that we're aware of. So we can't make, drastic changes to that number once we get started. We're going to have to plan for the next number of students that come in, assuming that this virus is still around. So yeah, we're just trying to be as responsible as possible with our planning.
All right. Then you want to take the next one with Governor Murphy's update from yesterday?
Yeah, again, we went live at 1:00, and I apologize to everyone without too much of a notice. But our issue today was we have a lot of meetings going on. Governor Murphy is going live at 1:00 himself with his live stream, and there's supposed to be an announcement that you do not have to offer the hybrid model. That's what we're assuming that he's going to be saying, which means that we could start the school year fully virtual. Now, that doesn't mean that our district will choose that option. I don't know what our district's going to do, but a lot of people in the district right now are waiting to see what Governor Murphy says. Even for home districts, we don't have sports here, but I do coach basketball, and we are waiting also for a sports announcement. We don't know if they're going to be saying anything about the fall sports. So if anyone is an athlete, that's maybe practicing right now or planning, obviously talk to your coach, but there may be an announcement coming up this week or next. And we're just waiting to find out what that announcement is going to be from Governor Murphy. So, it's frustrating on our part because we've planned so much to date, and we're ready to get all this information out to you guys. And unfortunately, sometimes the rules are being changed, right at the last second. So today's, whatever Governor Murphy basically discusses today and tells everybody, we're going to have to adjust. So tomorrow would be too difficult to try to do a podcast in case I get called into meetings or the guidance counselors get called to meetings or anything else. So that's more or less where we're at right now. We're in a holding pattern, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, we're in a holding pattern, but we definitely have this plan ready to go. Yeah. So this is our plan. If nothing changes, we're just waiting to see if something does change. And like Mr. Ricciardi said, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for the students. It's frustrating for the parents, not knowing what is going to happen in the next couple weeks. But unfortunately, those are those are the rules, and if the governor changes the rules, then that's what we have to follow. So
And Mr. Gongora, we have a pretty simple timeline, right? We put out the survey. I know there wasn't enough information previous to this because we were trying to make sure that everything was in place. We put out the survey. Now by tomorrow that'll close. We'll know how many students will be in the building, how many students will be fully virtual. So that's the first step. We plan on releasing schedules. And again, I'm kind of skipping down, but we plan on releasing schedules on Monday, the 17th. You'll be emailed the schedule either Sunday night or Monday morning, sometime during the day on Monday. That was the second part of the process. The next part of the process is based on your schedule, the counselors will be in, and then you can make any adjustments here. Mr. Buscio's in on the podcast right now. Miss Alvarez is having trouble getting connected, so she was walking around in the hallway trying to get herself connected. She doesn't have a good connection right now. But they'll be in the building. You can email your counselors direct. If you want to copy me, you can, but you can deal with any scheduling issues with your counselors. You don't have to copy me anymore. They're in the building this week. They're also in the building next week. And that also goes for anybody this week. We can start making changes this week. Counselors are in the building making changes already because some courses were removed from the schedule, like Mr. Buscio, let me know what else, but it was psychology, sociology were removed from the schedule. There were a couple courses. What were the courses that were at already?
AP Human Geography, I think, is not a class anymore.
All right, so if you requested those 3 courses, that's not being offered. There are a couple more not being offered, but they had very low student counts, so I think we're okay with that.
I gotta look at the. I have it right here. Let me just look at some of them. I think that wasn't it.
And then fine art. Anybody who's interested in the fine art elective, we're running 3 sections of that course. They're all at capacity right now. They're all at 24 students. So there may be some students who requested fine art and it doesn't fit in their schedule. So if you only requested 40 credits or 45 credits and you have some combination of those 4 courses, there's a good chance that you don't have enough credits in your schedule right now. So the counselors may be reaching out to you. So everybody just check your email, over the next few days. And definitely on Monday, you're going to want to check your email to get your schedule. And then if there's any issues, email your counselor.
Yeah, rather change them next week than, and get it all settled so we're all happy with the schedules by next week.
And one thing we did mention with the schedules is that you will know what classes you're taking, but you might not know the teacher that is teaching it. And we are definitely not going to be making any changes on your schedule just because you want a certain teacher. I know we've done that in years. We've always said that in years past, but this year it's really not feasible to try to move people around to different teachers' classes, just because we don't want one class to have a bunch of people in it all the time, right? So that again would defeat the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah, and again, for the most part, check your Gmail. That's why we have the bullet point there. Even incoming freshmen, you can check your Gmail. And Google Classroom invites. Over the next few weeks, you'll be getting Google Classroom invites from your teachers. Your teacher schedules will be released on Monday also. So your teachers will know who's in their classrooms. And at that point, they'll probably start populating their Google Classrooms because that's the way they're going to be communicating with you about their classes. So you want to make sure that you accept that Google Classroom invite. It looks like we're probably not going to have homeroom as a class this year. Your first period attendance will be your homeroom attendance and your attendance for the day. So you really want to make sure that when your teachers put up their attendance policies, how they're going to take attendance, most likely through Google Classroom, you really want to make sure that you sign in appropriately so that you get credit for being in the school for that day. And obviously that'll be for the rest of the day. So if you check in first period and then you don't show up to any of your other classes, unless you've contacted your teacher and you've made any sort of an arrangement, you're going to be considered, not in class that day, and you can lose class participation points.
And I think, right, the Google invites for individual classes will go out, as we get closer to the beginning of the year. But there's still about half the freshmen, or we're 40% of the freshmen who still haven't signed into the to the class, to our Academy Google Classroom. So just take a look through your email and make sure you get that, just because that's where we're going to post general information that's good for just good for you. And pretty much any upperclassmen, we've gotten them all in over the last couple of years. So we just changed the name of your individual classroom from freshman to sophomore, so you don't have to do anything else. It changed automatically.
Yeah, and again, we wanted to get a podcast done this week, so I apologize for no, previous mention or any notice. We will send it out to everybody so that everybody can at least get the information that we have as of right now. Some of the things to consider is all students are going to be required to wear a face mask, facial covering when they're in the building in classes. That's something that has already been decided. You guys can make your own arrangements what those masks are. Some people may even want to use the face shield in addition to the face mask. Again, that's completely up to you. But get yourself prepared for that, on an individual basis. Even on the buses, if you do plan on taking the bus in the morning, again, I don't know what part of our population will be on the buses moving forward. You may opt to get to school on your own. That's completely your choice. But if you're on our buses and coming to school, you will have to wear a face mask, face shield on the bus. A face mask, I should say. It's not required to wear a face shield, but you could wear the face shield also. But a face mask is required. So just make sure you're prepared for that.
Email question this week was a question about getting a parking pass if you want to drive for juniors and seniors. They still have to do that, and how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, I don't have any information about that right now. I'm not concerned with them being able to park here because obviously we don't have many people coming to campus on a day-to-day basis.
So I would think the parking lot will have plenty of room.
We'll have plenty of room. It's just a matter of how we get them that pass. We probably won't be doing that until September anyway. Again, our current model is that the first 2 weeks will be virtual for everyone. And then our current model is that by week 3, that would be September 21st, we would start our hybrid option where students would be coming in, whether you're given Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And then Friday would be the day that everybody is virtual from home. Teachers won't be in the building either. They're going to do a deep clean of the building. So that's what we're at this point. That was our model. That's what we proposed to the state. We're waiting to find out what Governor Murphy says today to figure out if that's going to change. And that would be a central, reopening committee decision. They would decide that. And that's about it. Mr. Buscio, anything else from the guidance office? I know you guys are working through schedules now.
Yeah, no, really just trying to fix little problems here and there. And if, like I said, if anyone's unhappy or sees something that we did wrong, just let us know. I'll be in all, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. So we're here for you to help fix everything. And
Mr. Bush, what we can do also, maybe we can put up what the requirements are by the state to graduate. Because
I just did that in the senior classroom, but I'll do that in every classroom so that the kids can make sure that they're hitting each requirement. Yeah, because we're coming across some problems last minute. We don't want that.
And again, a lot of the problems are students, and it's not a problem. It's just we need to catch them. Are students who transfer into the academy, either from another academy or another school district, because if our scope and sequence is designed so that everything that the state requires is done over 4 years with your electives built in. If you deviate from that scope and sequence, there's a chance that one of the courses, whether it be, a third history course or a foreign language or a science course, if you don't have your proper credits, then you're not going to have enough credits to graduate. So that's really the people that should really be concerned are people that either transferred into the academy or transferred into the school. And I know we don't have a lot of them, but those are usually the students that maybe a course falls through the cracks just because we're not assuming that you've deviated from the scope and sequence.
Yeah, that just happened to me with someone that came from the science to the art academy and now needs a third lab science senior year because they'd only took 2 lab sciences. And the other science classes like geology, meteorology, they don't count towards graduation. So in our academy at least. So
if students, if you can just pay attention to that, who you are, just check your Power School. I believe that's all available on Power School. Your schedules are not available on Power School, and I don't believe they will be available until maybe early September. You're going to get your schedule sent to you via email. Okay, that will be sent to you via email on Monday. And that's it.
Last point there that we've talked about a few times is just make sure that you're doing your English assignment, your summer reading. So that is on the district website. It's on. Again, we'll put a link in the notes for this podcast, and we've mentioned that a lot. So just make sure you're on top of that. It's we're getting closer to the start of the year. You guys have anything else? Miss Alvarez was almost with us, but it didn't work out.
For a little bit.
Yeah, that's about it. We're maybe next week may be a big podcast. You may want to tune into that. We'll give you some previous notice for that one. There could be definitely some things going on with scheduling. I guess more changes to the schedule and or possible changes to the schedule, and we should know who's going to come in on what day. Late next week, you should get an email about what day you're being slotted into, what day will be the day that you come to school.
All right. So with that, we'll see you next week. And like we didn't have anybody live this week, but we'll send this around so everybody gets the information. And we'll see everyone next week. Bye.